Good morning.
I say you. Give me a sec. Morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill.
How are you doing? Can you hear me? Hello? Little technical difficulties. Let's see here. Hello? I can see you talking, but I can't hear you. No, nothing? I can't hear your mic.
How about now?
Yep, there you are. All right. Tech,
check. Technical difficulties, everybody. This is it. This is what we do.
good. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Fancy.
very fancy.
All right. Cool. Well, how was your weekend?
It was okay. Could have been smoother. Got some productivity done. Decided to, a friend of mine put up a course and I decided to take a look at that. So hopped in there and ran through that and learned some cool new stuff. Excited about that. Hung out with the family and nothing too crazy. What about you?
Mine was good. I did a lot of relaxing this weekend. I had some stuff I needed to finish up for the week, but I got that done pretty early on Saturday. So, hiked like 3.5 miles with my son on Saturday, and then
Nice.
hiked by myself yesterday out in the woods. So I was just feeling the need to get back out in the outside. So
Yeah, I did a walk yesterday. It was probably about 2.5 to 3 miles.
Mhm.
So just nice to get, out. I mean, it's nice anyway, but it's incredibly nice now whenever, we're trying to, stay home and do all these things. But, yesterday was just like a nice day, and we got out on on Saturday evening for Alice's paper airplane business. My kiddo is a bit of an entrepreneur, has been selling airplanes, 25 cents for just a colored option, or $1 if you want fancy paper. And she'll do some
Ooh.
customizations for them and everything else like this. And so she's got a little stand, and she sets it up in the driveway. So we did that. I posted about it on social media, get some community people to come by, and she loves it. She's super excited.
That's awesome. Make sure and send me your address. I can come by and pick some up.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely wanna do that.
But she's digging that, and so we try to go out there on the evenings, and yeah, nothing too crazy, honestly, for the weekend, which is not a bad thing.
So how do you introduce these concepts that we're talking about to her?
What's really weird is I think it's difficult to like lead people in the direction you really want them to go, and I've found that the harder I try to like coax and cajole and kind of, oh, maybe you should do this, it's whenever I finally back up, right, and release my detachment from it, just like in a regular sales conversation, that she's like, oh, maybe I want to do this, right? And it's hard because you and I are pretty driven people, right? And I got into some tense conversations over the weekend because of like being so driven and like wanting to work, and because like we don't have plans. So if we don't have plans, let me do the thing that I enjoy. The thing that I enjoy is like learning about business and reading and hopping into courses and everything else like this. And so that gets viewed as work. And they're like, well, it's the weekend. And I'm like, I know it's the weekend, but this is still fun for me. I still enjoy the learning of it, and this is like my time. Like I feel weird about going down these rabbit holes during the week, but on the weekends, like it's fair game. Let's go. So there was a little tension about that. So
I think there's fair points on both sides, because the one side says it's the weekend. You're like, yeah, but that's kind of a rigid view, because if it's the weekend, I get to do stuff I want, right? So weekend to you and to me are different.
Exactly.
But there could be some unspoken stuff there where it's like, yeah, but I really want to do this. I'm just not telling you. So yeah, I hear you.
It's hard because I get it, right? Like I understand that like me standing here working on a course and like enjoying myself looks an awful like how it looks whenever I'm here working, right? Because the same location, it's super weird because I've got this laptop that I love. It's my workhorse. It's my MacBook Pro, but because of all the dongles and so much other stuff that's set up, like it doesn't even feel like a laptop anymore. It feels like it's more or less glued to this, very desk, that I work off of. And so maybe that's the thing. Maybe I just pick this thing up off of this table and take it into, the family room and sit down and read things and dork around, but still be a little bit more present, which would mean that I'd be less productive and effective. But, there are trade-offs to managing relationships when it comes to business. So
it's true. It's true. Well, let's we'll review what we did, what we talked about for this week.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Cool. So actually, I'm going to try to share screen because I did my social media calendar, and it's still not 100% filled out, but it's completely usable right now. I just haven't transferred everything over, but let's see if we can do this. Share screen.
So while you're doing that, I put out 2 calls yesterday, or I'm sorry, on like Thursday and Friday. One for that social media placement VA, that I was kind of talking about.
Right.
And then the other one is for doing some YouTube optimization for the throwdown page.
Okay.
And getting into some really cool conversations with some people who I think might be able to help with both. So that's exciting.
Awesome. Cool. Can you see this?
I can, yeah. Okay, so
this is my social media calendar. And the way that I teach people to approach social media, and I'm actually doing it myself now, is to take 3, 4, 5, 6 of your clients' biggest problems, like actual issues you can solve, and put those across the top. So like content, what do I post? How do I get seen? How can I get business from my posting? Why isn't my content working? And how can I scale? Those are kind of like questions I get all the time. And then these are ways to discuss it. Like, so this is, I might actually discuss the pain point of what do I post and talk about what it actually means. Share a success story around posting. Share a tip about what do I post. Research about the topic. And you see I have a little note here. You probably can't see that here, but like, let's see. Where's my
I like that.
Yeah, but my note actually has the link, see, to what I'll reference. There's a Marketo blog.
Oh, okay.
Those are all my research ones. I'll have links, and then you can see other places. I'm going to bring in links. And then a challenge. This is actually, I want to challenge people to, what do I post? Well, here, go do this. Do 3 objections and blah, blah, blah. So this is 25 posts.
Can you scroll down a little bit? The overlay is covering the bottom part.
How's that?
Oh, challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, way better.
So I've got 1, 2.
I like how it's almost like a matrix.
It is. It is. And here's the thing is I've got 5 problems and 5 ways to share it. I could use a 6th way to share it, and then I would have 30 days of content planned. But I like a little bit of flexibility because I'm a creative person when it comes to content. And so I like the flexibility of having 5 days in the month where I can just kind of spin something up that makes sense. Because like you, I read a lot and I come up with new ideas and stuff. So
Yeah.
this is week 1, this is week 2, week 3, week 4, that sort of thing. Then the second thing I have here that might be helpful for people. Let me pull this up. Let's see. All right.
What are the 3 Ps?
The 3 Ps. So let me tell you about that one sec. Can you see the bottom now, my tabs, topics, or do I need to bring it up?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you see the tabs on the Excel spreadsheet?
Oh, yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay, so placement schedule. So here's how I do that. I have, I post to LinkedIn and Instagram, and then I cross-post from Instagram to Facebook and Twitter. So those are all the same color. That's basically one post. Green one is today on LinkedIn, and yellow one is on Instagram today. And so I would just go over here and pick up green one and post it on LinkedIn today, and yellow one Facebook.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why? Can you go back to your placement schedule?
Sure.
So if that makes it seem like you're going to be doing different content on LinkedIn than you are on Instagram, which then gets repurposed into Facebook and Twitter today. Is that correct?
Correct. I mean, it's all the same. It's different timelines.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm curious, why not use the same post and just repurpose it? Wouldn't that make your life easier?
You mean post it one place and repurpose it everywhere, or?
Yeah, because that's what I've been doing. My daily value post, I write it on Facebook because I can write the longest there. And then what happens is I kind of copy it, then I'll adjust it and put it into some groups, and then I will also adjust it and put it into LinkedIn.
Yep. The short answer is I'm experimenting.
What's that?
The short answer is I'm experimenting.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
So, and then parking lot, these are ideas that don't fit in either of those, but I need to capture and remember them.
Yeah.
I'm getting pretty good echo on your side too, by the way. I'm not sure what it is. Let's see. Anyway, so this is where I just park stuff that I need to solve before next month. And so
that's awesome.
Yeah, and the one thing I'm going to add, when I get this done, I'm going to do a full posting calendar. So that's just for my impact over attention brands. That's what this is right here. This is all that stuff here.
Yeah.
So clearly we have BIL here that we're working on. I have another podcast called Business First Responders that I'm, a co-host on. And then I have a Quirk advertising agency, which I help support. And then I have my group. So there's several things I can post on social media. So what I want to do is put a full calendar together, like an actual calendar, and I'm going to post these 2 things today, these 3 things today. So next month, I'm going to, for all my properties, I'm going to have a full calendar I can do.
2 questions.
Yep.
First, I started a group on LinkedIn just to see if they're really actually dead or not.
Okay.
So I started a group on there. It's just like another free group to kind of shuffle people into, so that we've got a little bit tighter, I guess, messaging and impact on the messaging. And then you said something in there that brought up a question, but I don't remember what it is now. Sorry.
Posting, placement, topics, schedule, cross-posting.
It'll come back if it comes back. Okay. So did you see my comment on your proposal software post?
I did. Oh yeah. And then some guy was like, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
Easy,
the guy was trying to be, I guess, helpful, but he didn't know the whole context.
Yeah.
So Jake hopped into a group that we're both in and was looking for some software, and I decided to bust his chops a little bit, make sure he stays committed to his goals, because if you didn't watch on Friday, Jake doesn't do what he says that he's going to do this week. He's got to pay me, which I don't really think is the best bet, but this is what he wanted because he really doesn't want to pay me. So here we go. So right. He was looking for some software, and I posted a very Yoda-like comment about, hey, the proposal does not actually earn you the business, because I firmly believe that. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people who will go over and over and over and over, right? One proposal or three proposals, and it just takes so much time, and you're doing all this stuff without any kind of agreement that
Right.
what the proposal should be for. The proposal is just like the written outline of things you've agreed upon, verbally, right? Especially in small business, right? You're not dealing with the enterprise level. You're not having to come up with like a 70-page RFP, right? Like, try to go have a conversation, right? So in some realms, you can't do that, and I get it, and you have to adjust. But like, if you're in small business, like, these decision makers will talk to you if you can build a little bit of trust and just provide some value.
So I didn't respond because I was actually doing it for Quirk, because Quirk was looking for some new advertising or some new promotions. And but the opposite side of that is totally agree, 100%. But with that, no beef at all with that. I do, and actually, I think how I responded to somebody, not to you, was that I try and always improve every area of my business, not just the one.
That's fair. Yeah.
But my actual thinking was, there's so many automated ways to do proposals out there that are really nice and professional looking. If I come up with a system where we could upload the same type of information just into really like a nice template with better graphics and just feels more professional in delivery. And so no more time, just looks nicer.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, because the thing that I'm noticing is like every time I go look for a tool, I go find a tool, right? If I go looking for a shortcut, I'm going to find a shortcut, right? And the shortcut is the thing that you should be doing once it works, right? I think a lot of people, because of all of these consultants and marketers and info-based offers and everything else like this, it's so easy to just be like, man, if I just learn a little bit more, if I hop on this guy's course, if I buy this thing or something. No, like, there's a time and a place for that, but you need to go shore up like the basics of your business before you start looking for ways to like optimize the growth, right? You can't optimize something that doesn't actually already exist. So it's weird.
You were getting on me because like, Jake, what's your offer? Like, I know you're really good at doing all these other things, but what's your offer? That was like 2 or 3 months ago. You're like, Jake, I still don't know what your offer is. You can't sell something you don't have.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, like sometimes you just have to put your head down and work and figure it out and kind of learn it. I mean, well, I feel like a heathen saying that, right? Because I feel like we're supposed to be the guys who are smarter and trying to figure it out. But man, every time I go looking for a shortcut, I get sucked into a black hole, and then I find a shortcut. And then if I make a purchase of said shortcut, it doesn't ever actually shorten the process all that much. Right.
I heard somebody say, stop looking for shortcuts to do your work and get shortcuts to making money.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I can't remember who it is because I want to get credit because I was like, that is such a good.
Question. Are you still doing the real estate stuff or is that on hold?
Yep.
How's that going?
Good. I'm spending very little time in it. And it's a very slow burn process. So it's moving along.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
I literally spend half hour a week in it right now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it moving forward? Are there like deals in the pipeline, or like is it just kind of like on hiatus because you can't give it the time you need?
Well, the COVID stuff's slowing things down because the courthouses are moving way slower. That's the biggest hiccup right now. So we're still contacting people. So we're trying to build our pipeline.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yep. I'm assuming it'll bust free at some point, and we'll have a nice surge of work, and then I'll have to. At that point, I hope I'll have a lot of this, pulled back down to those hours, so I can spend a little bit more, like 5 hours in that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool, man. We just hadn't talked about it in a while. I didn't know if that was something you were still working on or not. So
yeah, it's on the back burner at the moment.
Okay. So what's up with today? What's a good Monday for you this week, Jake?
So I got to do 10 apps today because last week we said I'm going to do 10 apps today into my group. So if you're watching this and you want to be a part of the accountability group, I'm not counting this, but I'm doing my 30-day accountability group and let's go knock out a goal together. I'm going to finish out that social media calendar today.
Okay.
And obviously I need to post today. So starting the day is my post every day for 30 days with the calendar. And then I set up, also I didn't tell you, I set up my newsletter broadcast this weekend. So that is something I did over the weekend. And so Friday I'll be sending that out.
Cool.
And it's called Focus Friday.
Focus, run it?
Focus Friday.
Oh, Focus Friday. Okay.
Let's see. And then I've got client work. So not a massively big thing. My goal for the month was to get through my 7-day content camp, to build that out. I'm going to fit that in places this week. I'm just going to kind of finish out the outlines so that I can do a first draft next week of all the videos.
Okay. That's awesome, man.
That's my day.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Let's see. So last week on my newsletter, the Sherpa newsletter, was going to put in some stuff and some links, and my Amazon affiliate account was not working. Like I couldn't actually get it to generate and show the links. So did not send a Sherpa last week. So I'm still a little bit behind, which is kind of a bummer because I worked so hard to get 2 written and then only sent 1 for like the week before. So so that's still a work in progress of getting that dialed in and scheduled and figured out. So gonna try to get that done today. I just have like about half an hour's worth of like blocking and tackling, just like little bitty stuff, client catch up, everything else. Client work, right? I need to do at least an hour on my client work, and then I'm going to write a blog because that goes towards my big thing, or for the week, right? My weekly setup was 1 Sherpa newsletter, 5 daily value posts. I got to figure out this whole placement BA thing, right? If I'm going to do it or not. 2 blogs and 2 pieces of client/course content. So today will be the Sherpa newsletter, the blog, some client work, and then other various things.
Cool. That's awesome,
man. Yeah, it is a lot because I have a client call. I've got a ongoing. I'm working with Coach around like ClickFunnels and affiliate offers and like how to market digitally, just because I think it's interesting. And so there's a call for that at 11:30 I would like to be on, but if I don't make it, it's not the worst thing.
Okay. I think at some point you could, are you doing the waterfall thing, like Gary Vee style? I mean, are you taking one piece of content? And I'm just thinking you're doing a whole lot of content.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be robbing you from other opportunities from like sales and outreach.
Maybe, right? I've got LinkedIn lead gen going for myself, right? The same level that we provide for clients. My daily value post supports that. I've got a VA who's working on Messenger on Facebook, right inside of that target market. So he's reaching out to people, doing some automated messages and reach outs and asking for calls and stuff like that. And then I've got 2 different cold email reach out campaigns going. So got lots of things in play, right? And this week I wrote out some points of impact. So one of the points of impact is really kind of getting into the cold email stuff and really kind of figuring out like, hey, is this working? Are we happy with it? Like, how is this in relation to what like best practices tell us, and go from there. So I've got lots of lead gen and outbound going on. I just need to like track it to make sure that it is actually, doing the right things and bringing in the right kind of people.
Totally.
But yeah, the content thing is a lot. There's a lot of content to put out. I guess I'm trying to waterfall a little bit. It's not really like put together into like a plan. Hopefully, we can work on that at some point. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Well, so like I'm going to be posting daily, and I'm going to have a weekly newsletter. But the difference is I'm not creating blogs in like full content as part of my daily. My dailies would be smaller, pain point mentioned.
That's fair.
Back to a funnel.
Yeah.
And kind of the whole Brian Dean thing was I plan to do one large piece of content a month as like an asset, and then use that. But like I once again this weekend, like you, I was doing education working, and the volume of content that's required these days is less. Promotion so much.
Yeah. It's mountains, right? Yeah. So Melissa, I did a challenge there for a while where I was just going to write 1,000 words a day, like no matter what, about any topic, just like get in the habit of writing. And this was like right around the time when I was starting to post on LinkedIn and starting to take that stuff seriously. Right. So I've got a folder full of content for the personal brand blog, whatever, John Small Mountain. And so Melissa's been going through that, looking for opportunities of like either fleshing out fully or consolidating, because when you're going to write 1,000 words a day, not every one of those 1,000 words is going to be good, right? Lots of them are going to be terrible. So,
Right.
so she's my editor, and so I just sent everything to her. So, but I feel like with the COVID stuff and everything, it's like this, like we're still working through a backlog of stuff that I'd written, 2 or 3 years ago. So I want to write one blog post this week of just like, hey, like here's what's going on now. Like you're seeing this content as part of a schedule and everything else like that, but checking in. This is not regular programming. This is where we are right now, and doing that thing.
Yeah. Hey, Shannon. Good morning.
What's going on, Shannon?
He's a loan officer, and
He's a loan officer.
yeah. And so what's interesting is I was asking him how his business was doing, because I figured things were slowing down quite a bit. I know for a lot of loan officers, he said that his is rolling along pretty good. So
That's awesome. Good for him.
yeah. So
Man, I would not want to go back to
any
banking.
questions for John? He's the man when it comes to sales. So cool, man. Well, anything else before we head off?
I don't think so, man. I got a full day. The week's going to be good, right? I'm not paying anybody, so I'm looking forward to my $20 to add to my 30 or to add to my 10 for last week. So I have not spent my reward from last week. So
No ice cream, huh?
yeah, you did already?
No, I said no ice cream.
Oh yeah, so yeah, no ice cream. So yeah, well, it's gonna be a good week. Got a lot going on, I think.
Yeah, cool, man. Let's crush it.
My man.
All right. See you, Bill.
See you, Bill.